Hello, good day, and welcome, guys, to Scholars Academy. My name is Mr. Nigel Ramdial, and today we will be looking at our POB Paper 1, May 2025 CXC paper. Now, today's class, we're going to have a look at this paper in part 1, where I'll be looking at questions 1 to question 20 with you guys. I will be concluding the paper in part 2 and part 3 in upcoming videos, so please stay tuned for those. Also, remember, guys, at the end of this video, do not forget to like, leave your comments, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and share our link as well. Make sure and hit that notification bell so as soon as brand new videos are uploaded, you guys will be notified. Also, please be reminded that you all can now register for our online POA and POB classes. We do, in fact, have very small classes where you guys get individual attention with past papers being practiced. You guys can also get SP assistance and guaranteed success for sure. So please WhatsApp or call at 708-8197 or send us an email at scholarsacademy.nr@gmail.com. Remember, guys, register early because spaces are very limited. Okay, guys, so let's begin with our May-June 2025 Principles of Business CXC Paper 1. So as usual, as you guys know, your Paper 1 is 1 hour and 15 minutes long. You will in fact have 60 multiple choice questions answered in this paper. And, make sure and shade your answers in the appropriate box as well. Good, because you will in fact be having an answer sheet in addition to this booklet. Um, if you want to change your answer at the end, erase it completely before you fill in your new choice. Okay, guys, so let's in fact begin with this paper 1, May, June 2025. So let's go. So guys, let's go with it. Now here we are, question 1. In which of the following types of economic systems does the government make all decisions? Now, you guys remember that you all learned about different economic systems, and the one which the government makes all decisions should in fact be our command economic system. Sure, you guys got that one correct to start off with. Now, question 2. Which of the following types of checks allows an individual to receive cash on demand? Now, of course, you guys know the answer for this one as well. The check that allows persons to receive cash on demand, which means cash over the counter, is in fact your open check. So there we go. Question 2, our answer is A, open. Now, question 3. Starlight Products Limited has produced a new brand of soap. Which department is suited for promoting a new product? Now, as you guys realize, in our suggested answers, you have A, B, C, and D, which contains the 4 basic functions of a business, or 4 basic departments. Here we have the finance department, marketing, production, and human resource. Now, specific to the question we asked, which department is suited for promoting a brand new product? Well, obviously, our answer here should in fact be B, our marketing department, that department which is responsible for promotion. Very good job, guys. Let's move on to question 4. Now, private enterprises run mainly to do what? Now, as you guys also would have learned, in your POB syllabus, there's a little area which discusses private sector versus public sector. And this question is focused on the private enterprise with private sector. The private sector would in fact be that part of the economy where resources are owned and controlled by private individuals whose main aim is to in fact create profits. So A will in fact be your answer for question 4. Well done. Now, time for us to move on to question 5. A limited public company is owned by, well, guys, you also should know this one as well. A public company is that company where shares will be sold to members of the general public. So when members of the general public purchase shares, they are known as shareholders. Therefore, the public limited company will be owned by A shareholders. There we go. Not too bad. Now, guys, time for us to move on to question 6. In a business, the term span of control refers to the number of what? Well, span of control, as you guys know, refers to the amount of persons for whom a supervisor is responsible for. Therefore, the best answer here will in fact be D. Awesome job. Moving on to question 7. Which of the following is a form of industrial action in which trade unions are most likely to ask workers to participate? So, guys, trade unions, let's read the question carefully. Trade unions will, in fact, most likely ask workers to participate in a form of industrial action. And that form of industrial action where you can ask workers to participate in will, in fact, be work to rule. Part D is our answer there, work to rule. Work to rule, as you guys know, means coming to work, doing exactly what you are contracted to get done and nothing extra. So the answer to question 7 is, in fact, D. Well done, guys. Right, time for us to move on to question 8. So let's have a look at question 8. So with question 8, let's begin. Now, the manager of a factory meets with his employees and invites suggestions and recommendations to determine policies to solve problems. The manager's approach to decision making can best be described as what? Now, here we have the manager of a factory who is meeting with employees and listening to what employees have to say before he makes his decision. Now, this type of leadership style will in fact be a democratic leadership style, guys, and is in fact B for question 8. So not too bad as well. Good job. Question 9, which of the following actions are characteristic of a good leader? So guys, I'm sure you all know the answer of this one. We'll look at the leadership style, so let's have a look. So let's have a look at these suggested answers. So 1, inspire workers. Definitely, a good leader should in fact inspire workers. 2, delegate responsibilities. Of course, a good leader should also be able to delegate responsibilities. And finally, number 3, make intelligent decisions. Yes, for sure. So 1, 2, and 3 are characteristics of a good leader. Therefore, the best answer for us will in fact be D, 1, 2, and 3. All right, guys, so far we are looking pretty good, not too bad. All right, guys, let's move on to question 10. Under which of the following categories would subsidized meals for employees fall? Now, subsidized meals means that the employer will fund the meals for the employees, by giving them, extra meals, giving them the meals at a lower price. That's what subsidized means, right? Free meals. Now, the best answer for this is A, fringe benefits. Well done. And you guys know this type of benefit is a non-financial motivator for employees. So, good job. Right, moving on to question 11. Let's check it out. Question 11. Which of the following is not a function of management? Okay, let's have a look. Now, you guys would have learned functions of management include planning, controlling, delegating, coordinating, motivating, supervising. So all of those, let's have a look. So A, controlling use of funds, definitely. B, delegating work to employees or subordinates, correct. C, coordinating the work of employees, absolutely. So those 3 are definitely functions of management. Now pay attention to the question. The question said, which is not a function of management. Always pay attention to what CXC asks in this case, which is not a function of management. Therefore, D will not be a function of management, determining investment options for employees. Good job. Time for us to move on to question 12. Now, cash used to secure a loan at a bank is referred to as what? Now, guys, whenever you go to the bank to acquire a loan, the bank will ask you if you have any assets to pledge as security against the loan, and that is referred to as collateral. As you guys know, once you have collateral, the bank will actually, give you the loan faster because it's less risky to give that loan. Collateral is just simply assets pledged as security for the loan. Just in case you can't pay back the loan, the bank will take the collateral which you put up or pledged against the loan, liquidate it, and get back their money. Great job. Well done. So moving on to question 13. Question 13. The condensed version of a business plan, which provides an overview of the business, is contained in the, well, guys, condensed version is a summary. So definitely one of the answers says either A or B, executive summary or keynote summary. But you guys would have learned that in a business plan, you do in fact have the executive summary, which summarizes everything from the business plan, guys. The answer is in fact A for question 13. By the way, these questions that we just looked at, question 13, question 12, no, they're all about entrepreneurship. So guys, let's continue with question 14. Which the following is a regulatory requirement for entrepreneurs? So here we are, another entrepreneurship question. Regulatory requirement is a requirement by law. So let's see which is the best answer here. So after reading your suggested answers, a regulatory requirement for an entrepreneur, meaning required by law, should in fact be C, paying national insurance to government. Yes, guys, there we go. Entrepreneurs should in fact pay national insurance to the government, on behalf of themselves and their employees. So great job with question 14 as well. Answer was in fact C. Time for us to move on to question 15. Let's go, guys. An analysis of the viability of a business idea and examination of the different aspects of operating business is known as what? Well, viability simply means to assess, if this business will be worthwhile or not. And to know if this business should be worthwhile or not, a feasibility study should be undertaken. Yes, guys, feasibility study is a study which allows you to determine if the business idea that you have will be worthwhile or not. Great job for question 15. Time for us to move on to question 16. Question 16, entrepreneur may reduce his risk of loss by, well, guys, another entrepreneurship question. Remember, an entrepreneur is an individual who undertakes the risk of operating his own business. In order to reduce the risk of loss, an entrepreneur must, in fact, yes, guys, I'm sure the answer. Answer, in fact, be A. They should plan ahead. Great job. Well done. Time for us to move on to question 17. Which the following documents does a supplier send at regular intervals to credit customers giving details of purchases and payments made? So guys, this is a documentation question, guys. So we're actually now getting into section 4 of your syllabus. Section 4 deals with insurance, contracts, and business documents. So which the following documents will a supplier send to customers giving customers details of purchases and payments that they made? Well, the only obvious document that this is will in fact be the statement of account. Statement of account shows the buyer what they bought, what they paid for, and what their balance will be. So the statement of account. Question 18. Which of the following factors prevents an agreement from being considered a valid contract? Guys, you all know what makes up a valid contract. Valid contract, you must have offer acceptance, you must have consideration, you must have intention to create legal relations, you must have competence, right? But misrepresentation is one here that prevents a contract from being valid. So question 18 answer is C. Good job. Now you all realize that question 17 and 18 is in fact section 4 of your syllabus. How about question 19? Well, question 19 is also falling under section 4, which is based on insurance. Let's have a look. A policyholder who is now making a claim did not disclose all the necessary information to his insurance agent when he insured his property. The legal action the insurance company can take is to, well, guys, let's check this out. So the policyholder made a claim. He did not disclose all the necessary information. So the principle of insurance, which he did not abide by, would in fact be utmost good faith. He did not disclose all the information as necessary. So what would the insurance company do? Well, in a case like this, where he did not disclose all the information because of utmost good faith, the insurance policy will now be deemed void. So answer here for question 19 will in fact be B. The insurance company will deem the policy void and refuse to pay the claim because the policy holder did not follow the principle of utmost good faith, which would have been to disclose all the information necessary. So there we go, guys. Question 19, insurance question. Now moving on to question 20, guys. Let's have a look at question 20. Now question 20, as you guys would see straight away, is a contract question, which again is section 4. So let's have a look. Mr. Jones offered a contract. Mr. Jones offered to construct a house for Mr. Johnson for the sum of $200,000 Mr. Johnson accepted. When the building was near completion, it was destroyed by fire. Mr. Jones decided to regard the contract as being discharged, which the following principles best illustrate the termination of the contract. Now, guys, in this case, Mr. Jones offered to construct the house for Mr. Johnson. Mr. Johnson accepted, so there was offer and acceptance. When the building was upon almost completed, it was destroyed. Now, in a case like this, it now becomes impossible for both parties to continue with the contract because the building was no longer physically there. It was, in fact, destroyed by fire. So, guys, the best principle to illustrate the termination of this particular contract would, in fact, be the subsequent impossibility. There we go, guys. This was your answer for question 20. Great job. Nicely done. Right, guys, so what we just completed would have been question 1 to question 20 in the May-June 2025 POB paper 1. I will be continuing some upcoming videos with part 2 and part 3. So I would like you guys to make sure and like, comment, subscribe, and share. And also hit the notification bell so you'll be notified when new videos have been posted. So guys, look out for our coming videos where we have part 2 and part 3. Also, guys, please remember to register now for our online POE and POB classes. Remember, we do have small classes where you guys get individual attention. Feel free to WhatsApp or call the number provided and also send an email to scholarsacademy.nr@gmail.com. Please register now because class spaces are limited. So guys, looking forward to seeing you guys in our upcoming video for part 2 of this POB paper. So see you guys very, very soon.